AVI is primarily a food company with more than 53 brands in its portfolio, including Five Roses, Baker's, I&J and Willard's. It also has a shoe and clothing brands and a beauty products portfolio. AVI has a market cap of 20 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 18 and a dividend yield of 3.5%. So AVI trading under some tough trading conditions right now, Paul.
Yeah, it's not doing too badly though. As you can see, it's also been one of South Africa's most successful companies in recent years. I know these guys quite well. Simon Crutchley is a personal friend of mine. Angus Band, who was the CEO and then became the chairman, has also been around a long time. So they've done well. They've really worked the portfolio. They have a slightly different mix. They've got the fisheries and fresh produce operation in Irvin and Johnson, which has been sometimes a good performer, sometimes not. They made a controversial expansion into, clothing and food and footwear and all that. But that's worked very well. So Simon Crutchley, people thought he was mad when he did it, but it's turned out to be amongst the more profitable part of the business. So they continue to add in that space. They bought Green Cross and Kurt Geiger and Jimmy Choo and all those things. The Spitz store in Sandton, you can hardly get in there, it's so busy. So I suppose, for me anyway, they're a good group, they're well organized, they are thorough and disciplined in the way they go about business, so also, good company.
What do you make of AVI, Stefan?
Well, the thing I really like about AVI is their cash generative abilities. They really generate a lot of cash and they are willing to share that with investors. They've been paying out dividends, special dividends, share buybacks. So the shareholder has really benefited from their success so far, and you can see that in the share price. We're willing to pay for that.
So growth potential for this one, Paul?
Yeah, look, they are not only buying things, they also kicked the Sir Juice and the Real Juice business out. They serve that to Clover, because Clover likes those sort of things that you have to keep cold that go off soon. Not quite sure why you'd want to be in that business, but that's another story for another day. The fish thing is interesting to me, because Irvin and Johnson, we've been talking about fish on this show over the months. I got an email from the CEO of Oceana complaining that I didn't call Oceana a hot stock. And I was thinking about it. For me, the fisheries thing is interesting because fish are in relatively short supply. They're getting harder to catch. And there's that whole thing about the quota. I wouldn't be surprised to see AVI actually sell Irvin and Johnson. The question is who they would sell it to. Mm-hmm. They exited those fish businesses in Latin America, in South America, Chile and so on, called El Pesca a couple of years ago, and were happy to be out of it because they do have variable earnings. Irvin and Johnson did well recently, but hasn't always done well. So, I think growth potential, just more of the same. More branded goods, more exploring the brand portfolio and looking to add value here and there.
You mentioned dividends a little earlier, that they issue dividends to their shareholders. That's why you like them so much. Would you be getting in at these prices though?
It's starting to get toppish, but it is a company that has great, we call it business momentum. So the business is just clicking, your margins are expanding, your ROE getting better. So it's got great momentum, the stock, the company. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's starting to look expensive, but for a good company, sometimes you have to pay an expensive price. So yeah, I like AVI and I think it's still hot.
Paul?
Yeah, the one piece we haven't talked about here is the sort of personal care division. They've got that factory down in Cape Town which makes Coty and Lanthoric and perfumes and what have you. That actually is quite a hot category. Lots of people want to be in that space. There are groups, private equity and others that like that. So again, that could either be something that they would bulk up or narrow down. For the moment, the action appears to be in the sort of footwear and clothing environment, and there are plenty of smaller players there, although that's also quite competitive with people like Foschini and so on trading in that space. So yeah, I'm hot on the category generally of branded food, so I'm happy to give this company the hot as well. Similar rating, similar sort of valuation.
Even
good one for me.
At this level, would you be getting it?
Happy to be buying them at this level.
So two hots on AVI.